Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Anusha Soni. Grand preparations are underway at the temple town of Ayodhya for the Pran Pratishtha at the Ram Temple, the newly constructed Ram Temple. The invitations have gone to all the political parties for the grand ceremony. Many opposition parties continue to politically stammer on whether they will attend that ceremony or not. The politics ahead of January 22nd is not unexpected. But what's rather surprising is that the opposition parties seem to be caught completely unprepared. The Pran Pratishtha ceremony is slated to happen just months before the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Apart from development, whether you like it or not, religion shall be an important facet of the political narrative. The attendance or the absence at the ceremony is no more a question of ideological conviction. But it seems like that it's only a question of right political optics, especially for certain opposition parties, and talking about the Congress, which is yet to take an official position. We talk about the political huff-puff in which the opposition seems to be caught right now here on Brass Tacks tonight.
India is for everybody. It is in our constitution. You got to respect all religion. If you want to celebrate, more power to you. I have no issue with it. But do not politicize religion.
I think this kind of sort of putting the Congress leadership in a box and saying, if you go, that means you are playing into the BJP's hands. If you don't go, that means you're anti-Hindu. I mean, this kind of thing is nonsense. What are we supposed to do?
And क्या होगा? राम मंदिर जेवढे एकच निमित्त घेऊन जनतेमध्ये काही वेगळं मत तयार करण्याचा त्यांचा प्रयत्न आहे यापेक्षा दुसरं काही दिसत.
तो हम क्या बैठे हैं क्या इनविटेशन का इंतजार करके? जब उनका बीजेपी का प्रोग्राम खत्म हो जाएगा तो हम जाएंगे राम लल्ला का दर्शन करने.
जिन नेताओं को बुलाना जाना चाहिए, जिन नेताओं को नहीं बुलाया जाना चाहिए, ये भी एक पार्टी विशेष तय कर रही है. हम इस पर अपना अफसोस जाहिर कर रहे हैं. हमारी पार्टी को अगर निमंत्रण मिला तो हम इसमें अवश्य हिस्सा लेंगे.
तारीख को जिनको निमंत्रण मिला है वो तो अवश्य जाएं, लेकिन उसके बाद आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जब अलग अलग दिनों में खुलेगा तो उस पर जाना चाहिए. पहले दिन ज़्यादा भीड़ ना हो क्योंकि वहाँ पे कार्यक्रम होगा.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी जिनके कारण से आज अयोध्या में श्री रामलला की जन्मभूमि पर भव्य मंदिर का निर्माण हो रहा है, जिसकी प्रतीक्षा या जिसकी लड़ाई, जिस बड़ी लड़ाई छोटी लड़ाई यह 500 साल से चल रही है, वह 500 साल की लड़ाई का परिणाम या 22 जनवरी को जब रामलला अपने जन्मस्थान पर विराजमान हो जाएंगे, वह पूरे देश के दुनिया के राम भक्तों को प्राप्त हो जाएगा.
Well, the seemingly confused stand of the opposition camp has drawn sharp reactions from the public. Author Minaz Merchant has tweeted this as part of our Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone. That's our tweet of the day. He says, and I quote him right now.
Hello, Moto.
Well, putting out that tweet for you, the opposition have converted the inauguration of Ram Mandir, which otherwise would have passed relatively uneventfully, into a political win for the BJP. By boycotting the inaugurations, parties are digging themselves into a Ravan-sized hole ahead of 2024. I'm sure a lot of political pundits would agree with that kind of assessment. Well, let's get to our big debate. Amid the Ram Mandir Showdown, is the opposition in a big political fix? The fact that they're not able to decide so far, will that cost them in 2024?
Hello, Moto.
Let me introduce our esteemed panel which is joining us on Brass Tacks tonight. We have Mr. Sharad Trivedi, who is the spokesperson of the BJP. We have Mr. Nalin Mehta, who is the managing editor for Money Control. Tehseen Poonawalla, who is a political analyst, is also joining us on the broadcast. In just a few minutes from now, we'll also have Mr. Abbas Haider from the Samajwadi party. But Tehseen, do you want to open the debate? I'd like you to make the opening comments. Why is the Congress party stammering on this? Why haven't they been able to make up their minds whether they want to attend the ceremony or not? This is not a question which is out of syllabus. It was expected to come at some point.
Good evening and thank you so much for having me on the show. First of all, the entire country is rejoicing on the Ram temple being built. And Lord Ram is not a religious issue by itself. Lord Ram for this country is a civilizational issue. But I have a question. Who is the BJP to come and ask questions of people and their faith? Who is the BJP? If today the construction of the Lord Ram's temple has been delayed and Lord Ram had to stay in a tent, it is because of the BJP. Who opened the locks of and did the Shilanyas? The Congress party. In 1992, and I want you viewers to hear that, the Congress got in a bill to build a Bhavya Ram temple, including in 2.5 acres where everyone believed that Lord Ram was born. The BJP vice president in parliament says, and I quote him, "We will not allow parliament to build a Lord Ram temple. It will be built by the order of the court." Even the court asked the honorable prime minister to step in. The prime minister, our current prime minister, on affidavit says what? That this is a civil dispute of land. I will not step in. When the Chief Justice of India asked our current prime minister to step in, the BJP had no role except to delay it. Today they are coming in, and how they important? This temple is being built because the honorable Supreme Court ordered it. It's being built on the taxpayers' money and on the faith money of 140 crore Indians.
Absolutely.
What has BJP got to do with it? A. B. The BJP, simple question, let me ask them. They're doing politics. Forget the invitation to the opposition. Advani sir got an invitation. Advani sir was the man behind the Ram movement, Ram Janmabhoomi movement. He wants to go. Can't the honorable prime minister stop his plane, take honorable Advani ji in the plane and in his Maybach car to the Ram temple? Advani ji wants to go, na? Unko le jaiye. This is the politics of the BJP which I'm exposing today. The BJP have nothing to do with Ram temple. All they've done is delay the construction of the Ram temple, which should have been built in 1992.
All right, Mr. Abbas Haider, as I said, the spokesperson of the Samajwadi party is also joining us on the broadcast. Taking on that point with you, Tehseen, before I go to BJP for a reaction, you are a regular to the Supreme Court. You've been a regular to the Supreme Court. We all have heard those hearings, those mega hearings that happened ahead of that crucial judgment. Different political parties at that point, even when not represented per se during those hearings at the Supreme Court, had a political stand to take. The existence of Lord Ram in this country was questioned inside the court and outside the court. We are privy to that narrative in this country. It's not a figment of anybody's imagination. BJP as a political outfit made this a part of their agenda since 1989.
Not true.
Apart from Shiv Sena, they are one of the key political parties in this country that openly campaign for an election. They are saying this is something we have worked for, and of course built by the orders of the Supreme Court, and the entire country has come together. The Mandir has been built with the donations that were given by the devotees, not out of any party political fund, but the BJP has supported it as a political agenda.
Wait, one second. I donated to the Ram temple. I don't support and vote for these BJP people. They are the ones who've delayed it. And you spoke about affidavit, and you know I have a lot of respect for you and used to cover Supreme Court. Do you know the affidavit that you're talking about, the ASI affidavit about the Ram Setu, which says that Lord Ram is mythical? Even this current government has continued the same affidavit. Only Subramaniam Swami changed it. You know this.
I know that.
These guys, ये किसी के नहीं, ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको भाजपा ने ठगा नहीं, ठगने वाले लोग हैं. इन्होंने भगवान राम की जो जमीन थी, वो जमीन खरीदने में भी इन्होंने स्कैम किया है. What does Nirmohi Akhada say? VHP has taken money. Look, BJP has nothing to do with this. If I'm saying this again, answer one question. Did the Congress get in the ordinance 1992 where it did have a majority that let's build a Ram temple, then or 2.5 acres plus the other area? Why did they say we'll go to court and make Ram Lalla stay in a tent for so many years? They have only wanted to do politics and they're not answering the question. Advani sir wants to come. Take Advani sir with you.
I want Mr. Sharad Trivedi to come into the discussion. Sharad ji, what has the BJP got to do with it? And in fact, Tehseen Poonawalla is bringing a bit of historical tits and bits and arguing कि बीजेपी ने तो मंदिर बनाने में देरी करवा दी है, उनकी वजह से देरी हो रही है. जवाब दीजिए इन सारे तथ्यों का.
First of all, I'll tell you that Prime Minister does not drive Maybach, he drives either BMWs or Land Rovers. The second thing is that
Maybach now. Sorry, sir.
I think that's besides the point.
Yeah, but I think it's a Maybach now.
October 21st, 1951, the Jansangh agenda started with Uniform Civil Code 370 and UCC. We have done all the three. Now the time has come for the inauguration. They were saying that ki mandir kab banayenge, the tarikh nahi batayenge. We have given the date of inauguration. Now the invitation has been given not by BJP, it has been given by the Ram Janambhoomi Trust. If they want to come, fine. If they don't want to come, fine. BJP has nothing to do with it. If they invite, it is their prerogative. They are in charge of the ceremony of that day. If they want to invite somebody, it's their prerogative. BJP has no agenda. It has no locus on this issue at all. Now they have to decide. Now the problem is that they come, they are damned, and if they don't come, then they are damned. Rahul Gandhi has himself decided to start his Padayatra on the days on which this Ram Mandir inauguration will be there. The Pran Pratishtha has to take place there. So that is the problem. The opposition has got something to do with everything that the BJP does. And in this case, BJP has nothing to do with it. If you have any argument, you argue with the Ram Janambhoomi Trust. Why is BJP being accused of कि आपने क्यों नहीं बुलाया? You are politicizing this issue. They are politicizing the issue. We have not said anything to anybody. They want to come, fine. They don't want to come, fine. The trouble is they are catering to their vote bank. If they come, they are damned. If they don't come, they are damned.
I think Sharadji, that's a fair point to make. Tehseen, let me just fine tune it for the benefit of our viewers. Even if I were to agree with everything that you have said, it only makes up for an argument that the Ram temple or the present temple that stands right now, built by the money of the devotees, built by the Tir Kshetra and the Samiti that was set up by none other than the Supreme Court of India, then why is it that the Congress party is so unsure? There are certain opposition parties that don't want to go for that inauguration ceremony. Then why this hesitation?
So two issues there.
Yes.
Number one, and let me just factually correct my BJP friend. Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Nyaya Yatra starts on the auspicious day of Makar Sankranti after paying salutations to the Sun Lord, not on the day of the Pran Pratishtha. So, sir, you're factually wrong there. But let me come to the larger issue. Anusha, you're a Hindu, a practicing Hindu.
Yes.
My wife is a practicing Hindu. Sir,
I'll come back to you. Let him make an argument. I'll come back to you. Yes, Tehseen, please go ahead.
In this great land called Bharat, which is and I said it's a civilizational issue. There are 150 crore Indians. How many people will be there in Ayodhya that day? 10 lakh people? 149 crore, 90 lakh Indians will still not go. Are they not Hindus? Are they not Indians? ये क्या लॉजिक है इनका लॉजिक? मतलब आप उसी दिन जाओगे जिस दिन हम टीवी पर आएंगे, भैया आपका उसमें कोई रोल नहीं है. The day people want to go, they have to go. They're the wherewithal to go. They want to go. अरे one person wants to go, he's requesting you, अडवाणी जी, उनको ले जाओ ना भैया. आप क्यों नहीं ले जा रहे? उसका जवाब नहीं दे रहे. आप क्यों नहीं जा रहे? आप क्यों करें? या यहाँ पर जो कैमरामैन है वो हिंदू नहीं, उनको भी जाना है. वो अगर वो 22 को नहीं 23 को नहीं, कम हिंदू हो गए. ये क्या आपका लॉजिक है भैया? आप ये करो, आप गुड गवर्नेंस करो, राम राज्य लाओ. बाकी कौन किस दिन जाता है वो देख लेंगे भैया.
Tehseen, I only wish that the opposition parties were so categoric and candid in the stand that they have taken. The problem of the matter is, the substance of the matter is that the Congress party has not taken a position so far whether they are going or they are not going. They haven't offered any reasons for it.
They will, whatever any party does, they will not give answers to BJP.
No, not to the BJP, but to the public at large. But to the public at large.
So the people will see with themselves.
Let me bring Mr. Nalan Mehta also into the discussion, and of course Abbas Haidar is also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Nalan Mehta, this political indecisiveness, to say the very least, as if a question has come out of syllabus, will this cost the opposition, or it's a non-issue like Tehseen argues it to be?
So, I don't think it's out of the syllabus. I think this was always going to happen.
Yes.
And cast your mind back also to when the consecration of the Bhumi was done after the Supreme Court verdict some time back, when Prime Minister Modi presided over the Havan on the ground with Yogi Adityanath and the RSS leadership in present. On that day, every major opposition leader, including most leaders of the Congress, also supported the Ram Temple, also tweeted in support of the Ram Temple, right? So Tehseen is right on that. However, and Tehseen is a dear friend, so with all due respect, Tehseen made the point from 1992 to now about the ordinance. The fact of the matter is, there's been a Congress government, there was a Congress government in power from 1992 to now for 14 years in the interim, in the years since. The second point is that as far as, see, there's no question that the the cultural war over Ram and the political battle over Ram has been won by the BJP. And I'm making the political point on this.
Sure.
The Palanpur resolution of 1989 is when the BJP formally adopted the adoption of the creation of the Ram temple as a political aim, and based on the notion of faith.
Yeah.
Right. So, and now that after the Supreme Court judgment, which was a unanimous judgment by a 5-member judge, by a 5-member bench, I think BJP was well within its rights to politically seize the initiative on that thereafter, and the Prime Minister sort of fronted it personally thereafter. And a lot of criticism was made of that, but he made the point on that. And now you're seeing the same thing now. So, and by the way, I agree with the BJP spokesperson that the opposition is damned if they do and they're damned if they don't, because fundamentally they don't want the BJP to be seen to be taking credit for it. But even if they go, the credit will go to the BJP politically, in political terms. And if they don't go, people will call them anti-Ram.
Absolutely. That's the optics of it. I mean, I'm not saying that's the conclusion of it in substance, but politically that's how it will play out in optics. Mr. Abbas Haider, there are certain leaders of the Samajwadi Party, not spokespersons, who have said that this is going to be a black day when the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram temple really happens. The Samajwadi Party has categorically said that that's not the official position of the party, but many leaders continue to voice this opinion, sir.
Anusha, first of all, Samajwadi Party is not of any sort of opinion. We does not do that. And as far as the invitation is concerned, our party has not been officially invited for the inauguration of this temple. And Samajwadi Party believe that this construction has been done after the judgment of the apex court, and the people of the country have accepted it and welcomed it. And now I think it does not matter what people say, but I believe that 1.4 billion people of the country, they are happy. They believe there was a dispute between two communities, but once the judgment was been given by the Honorable Supreme Court, the dispute was resolved, and not the temple has been constructed. But Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to make this event to use it politically, which we don't like. Because, Lord Rama or Lord Krishna or Hanumanji, they belong to every one of us, not just people of this country, but to entire world. They're an idol for everyone. And, हमारे यहाँ in हिंदू धर्म कहा जाता है कि जब भगवान बुलाएंगे तो हम जाएंगे. तो जब निश्चित रूप से जब भगवान बुलाएंगे तो हम लोग भी जाएंगे. Be it 22nd of January or 22nd of February, that does not matter. I agree with Tehseen, what he has said. And, the opinion of Samajwadi Party is that we don't mix politics with religion. For us, politics is our faith, our religion is our faith, our belief, and politics we do for welfare of the people. So this is what the stand of Samajwadi Party is.
That's your stand of that's the stand of Samajwadi Party. Then the statement that has come in from Mr. Burke, he had said that we would pray for the Babri Masjid to come back. Mr. Shafiqur Rahman Burke had made that statement. We have played that out here on CNN News 18. So officially the Samajwadi Party is distancing itself from that particular statement, sir? Mr. Abbas Haider?
Basically, Bharatiya Janata Party has failed the people of this country of many issues, be it inflation, unemployment, increase in foreign debt. So they want to divert public attention from such issues. That's the only thing they want to make this event. Basically, there is no issue. The Mandir has been constructed, the inauguration is going to happen, and as you have correctly said that it has been made on the money of the devotees and on the judgment of the Supreme Court. So what has any political party got to do with it?
I mean, Tehseen, a quick point from you, and then I'll go to
a political point about what the Samajwadi MP said. So the Samajwadi MP says he'll pray for a mosque to come up. That's a political point which the BJP is beating its chest about. The issue in the Supreme Court was a title dispute of land. All right? One side decided to construct a temple. This is the greatest country in the world. The Supreme Court, despite the other side losing, gave them 5 acres to build a mosque. A mosque is also coming up. Look at it. What is the problem? The gentleman from SP wanted a mosque. This country is giving a mosque. This Supreme Court is giving people a temple. Bhajpa is giving the children of Ram nothing. Neither jobs nor economy. That is 100%. They should talk.
Tehseen,
they are more right, like I said.
Tehseen, I appreciate the persuasive arguments that you're making. But listen,
opposition should learn from you.
I also think that when it comes to the opposition parties, the left leaders have been on record to say that public exchequer money is being used at the Ram temple. Then the temple trust had to come forward and say, look, we don't need any government money. We have got donations from across the country. Lakhs and crores of devotees have donated for us. Then they said that a sovereign head of the state should not be part of the religious ceremony. Then a plausible question comes up that which provision of the Indian Constitution really bars the Prime Minister from attending an event of this nature, and the sovereign head of the state attending an event of this nature is not without precedent. So you can't say that the opposition clearly doesn't need to say anything of it. The fact of the matter is that they've been caught stammering on this particular issue multiple times in the last few days.
Nobody is stammering. Nobody is stammering. Now let me put a devil's advocate. The left loonies, because I think the left are loonies, they say, okay, head of state should not go. People go for iftars also, people go for mass also, people go for pujas also. Jawaharlal Nehru went, Indira Gandhi went, Rajiv Gandhi went. These are not the issues of the country. The issues of the country are the children of Ram getting jobs, are the daughters of Ram getting justice. That is the issue. Are children of Manipur not children of Ram? That the BJP have no answer, so they are clutching onto straws. They have not been able to answer on Advani ji. That's first part. Second part, I'm again telling you one thing. The question is not about what does the BJP say. The BJP has no locus in this game. They are zabardasti ka taking credit. If the BJP had anything to do, tell the BJP that what is Lord Ram known for? Raghukul Reet sada chali aaye, pran jaye par vachan na jaye. तो जो वचन के भारत के लोगों से, भगवान राम के बच्चों से, उसको निभाए, वो है सही राम राज्य. राम राज्य तो लाना नहीं है, बस यहाँ पर आकर दूसरों को they are giving.
No, you're questioning the BJP on that, and I'll let BJP answer that. I'd go to the BJP spokesperson. Sir, Sharad sir, do you want to respond to this point that has been made that BJP is unduly taking the credit for the construction of Ram temple? Sharad ji.
You take credit for it. Who's saying that BJP is taking credit for it? Let everybody take credit for it. Every person in this country should take credit for it. We are not demanding any credit. If Prime Minister is being invited and every opposition leader of repute is being invited, what is the problem? Earlier, 2 months back, we had this argument going on when these invitations were not issued that opposition is not going to be called. This is a BJP show. The BJP is conductor of the ceremonies. BJP is the party involved in the entire game. It is for political motives. Now when they are invited, now they are hunting for other issues. And one thing I want to clear it, although this argument has been done to death, that we have the highest ever the foreign exchange reserves. We have had the highest ever exports in the history of the country, and we have the second or third highest rate of increase of the economy, and we have the lowest inflation rate, and we have the lowest unemployment figures in the country for a very long time. We have done these arguments to death. Now the question is that should one problem be solved only when the rest of the problems are solved? When every problem in the world is solved, then one will tackle one problem. You talk about Ram Mandir, we should discuss about the unemployment. You talk about Ram Mandir, you talk about the new Sansad that has been created, we'll talk about inflation, we'll talk about the poverty. What was Congress doing for the last 70 years? Why are we still sticking around with this poverty?
Okay.
We have
Tehseen, I find this argument that you made rather...
1,300 and 1,30,000, 13 crore 500 people, 50,000 people out of the unemployment. We have brought them
No, sir, I'm very clear fundamentally as a journalist that if we are talking about religious and political issues in this country, we can't skirt these difficult debates of this nation, of this great nation, just because there are issues of unemployment, price rise and inflation. All of them are important. So are the issues of public consciousness, and religion is a very important facet to it. Tehseen, coming back to your point, you're right in pointing out that more than 100 crore people cannot be invited to the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. You're well aware of the Hindu religion, its practices. And if a Ram temple is constructed after a wait of 500 plus years, and I'm sure you're aware how important Pran Pratishtha ceremony is, if as a believer, I'm given the opportunity to attend that event, why would I deny that? This is the same party and its leaders that call themselves the believers, the Janeyodharis, the people who don't want to mix faith in politics in this country. But if you're real believers, then the presence of the Prime Minister or a particular political party should not bother you. It is at the end about Lord Sri Ram, and you should be there on that big day. Nobody can deny the importance of that big day.
Cool. I take that argument absolutely. So if it is about being believers, why is the BJP so bothered? Why is the Congress going on, not going, Kharge ji going, Sonia ji going on? If they are believers, whether Kharge ji goes, Sonia ji goes, they should be there. The fact that they're coming on TV and saying, why are you not coming, shows that...
No, let's forget what BJP is saying. Let's forget what BJP is saying.
So we both admit one point that BJP is doing politics. Now let's come. The Congress has not denied anything. The Congress will take a call. Why should the Congress or any political party for that matter be answerable to anyone, to a great channel like yours with respect, or to the BJP? They will take a call as and when.
See,
but now you see, this question is also asked this morning. This was also asked of Akhilesh ji. जिनको अभी न्योता आया ही नहीं है. वो बच्चा पैदा नहीं हुआ उसके मुंडन की वो सवाल पूछ रहे अरे इनविटेशन आएगा अखिलेश जी डिसाइड करेंगे उनको जाना है या नहीं
लेकिन खरगे जी को तो इनविटेशन जा चुका है ना मिसेस गांधी को इनविटेशन जा चुका है
so they will decide and that decision religion is a private issue will be made in their heart and they will decide why should that be discussed publicly
theoretically your argument might stand but in the world of real politics, just 3 to 4 months away from Lok Sabha elections, you can't live in a fool's paradise and say that whether I want to go to the Ram Temple inauguration or not, the party will decide and we are not answerable to anyone. The position of every political party on this particular issue will affect the political narrative. It will affect the elections and the religion and the mix of religion and politics is going to be an important cocktail to watch out for.
Correct. So that cocktail is not important when Advani ji who started this movement wants to go. Poor guy saying, I want to go there.
Sharad ji, this point has been raised repeatedly by Tehseen Poonawala. Do you want to respond to that? The presence of the respectable leader Lal Krishna Advani ji.
Unko le jao.
The entire show is being conducted by Ram Janmabhoomi Trust. It is their prerogative to decide who to invite or not to invite. BJP I'm not a spokesman for anybody else. I'm only spokesman for BJP. BJP has no prerogative. We have no locus standi on this issue. Who's to be invited, who's not to be invited. It's a good faith of the trust. Who are they inviting?
But he's been invited, sir.
They could ask the trust.
Sir, that's where he scored the self-goal. He's been invited. And he's been whispered in his ears not to come.
No, but how do you know that if it has been whispered in his ears?
So why is he not going? Now answer that. He's a member of BJP.
Listen, I really believe, Tehseen, there can't be double standards. See,
no, I agree.
If you say Congress doesn't have to answer to anyone whether they are going or not, then similarly Mr. Advani doesn't have to answer to anyone whether he is going or not. You can't have this classic whataboutery, can we?
I agree. So the debate is pointless. I don't know why they're coming on TV
since morning BJP and asking questions. Let me bring in Mr. Abbas Haider also, and one of the contours of this debate is that, Mr. Haider, you said that we should not mix faith and politics. That's a classic statement which is made by certain opposition parties. And I think barring the left, every political party in this country, depending on the opportunity and their convenience, has mixed faith and politics. There's a history of the Congress party. The Samajwadi party, I've spoken about this issue yesterday as well. We had Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari. The iftar parties were very well known for, and at the end of the day, they are religious events. My team also tells me about certain other facts. 2013, the SP government decision to provide compensation of 5 lakh only to the Muslims who were affected in the Muzaffarnagar riots. And also this is something that was widely criticized. Your party allegedly, please argue on these facts, has the history of reaching out only to a certain section and doing appeasement politics. And that brand of politics has worked for you, but this you call communalism. Mr. Abbas.
No, Anusha, this is total misinformation. Samajwadi Party has never differentiated between communities on the basis of their religion, caste, or any sort of such thing. And as far as the compensation is concerned, Samajwadi Party government has given compensation to everybody who was affected during the riots. But there is a contradiction between the statements of Bharatiya Janata Party. On one hand, they say that they don't have a local stand-I on this issue. On the other hand, they want to take credit of this. So basically, they should decide themselves that do they have a local stand-I or they do want to have a credit, do want to take the credit on this. So basically, Bharatiya Janata Party just tried to use everything for their political gain. But people of the country, they are well aware of it. They know that what Bharatiya Janata Party has done. Tehseen has rightly said that they have basically delayed this process. And just not Advani ji, Murli Manohar Joshi ji, Kalyan Singh ji was alive at that time when this was happening. Bhumi Pujan was happening, and even he was not in invited over there. So basically, they don't want to invite their own leaders just because the credit should not go to them. They want to take credit. Basically, it is about 2024 election. They are trying to make this a political event. I totally believe this is a religious event. This should not be made a political event. But unfortunately, BJP is trying to make this a political event and for 2024 election. But I know I'm quite certain that the people of the country, they are very smart. They know what BJP does, what do they say, and what do actually they do. So basically, people are not going to, they're not going anywhere. They doesn't make any difference on the opinion of the people. And 2024, BJP is getting out of power no matter how many events.
Sir, if you believe that, but I'd just like to add that back in November 2013, it was actually an order from the Supreme Court of India that had to remind the UP government that the compensation should be paid to everyone and not just to one community affected in the riots. And that's when the UP government, at that time led by Samajwadi Party, had to correct the orders that they had given. So when it comes to appeasement politics and so-called communalism, there is a sketchy track record for a lot of political parties, including SP.
No, Anushka, that's what I have said. The compensation was given to everyone by the government.
After the orders of the Supreme Court.
If there might have been some certain, on the bureaucratic level, there might have been some problem, but that was sorted out. So the compensation was given to everyone. We don't differentiate. We believe in the directive principle of state policies, which directs us to work for the weaker section of the society, which we always do, unlike the Bharatiya Janata Party, who try to suppress the weaker section.
All right, Mr. Nalin Mehta, coming to the other facet of this debate, which is the presence of the Prime Minister. Certain left parties have spoken about this issue, and my thought process on this, as far as I understand the constitution of this country, is that nothing bars the Prime Minister from attending an event of this nature. But yet, from a political morality point of view, certain opposition parties have frowned upon the presence of the Prime Minister at an event of this nature.
So I don't see why, because the construction of the temple is the result of a Supreme Court judgment on this spot, which was a unanimous judgment by a 5-member bench. So thereafter, this controversy arose, like I said earlier as well, when the consecration of the ground also happened soon after the last election. The point is, why should the head of state not attend a religious ceremony just because it happens to be a Hindu ceremony? After all, heads of state in this country have attended many such ceremonies in the past. And the debate and the controversy of the Ram Temple was put to rest by the judgment of the Supreme Court. So I don't see why that's a problem.
Sir, ahead of 2024, can the opposition parties really sustain this position that whether we go or we don't go is immaterial to the elections or the narrative around the elections?
So I think recent elections have shown us, state after state, that you can't win an election in India if you are seen to be anti-Hindu, right? And we've seen that. Even Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, when she won her last landslide victory, and the BJP accused her of being very pro-Muslim and so on, Mamata Banerjee went out of her way to show her religiosity in Hindu terms as well.
The Chandi part,
Yeah. So with the Ram Temple, irrespective of whether one agrees, whether one is religious or not, or whether one agrees with the movement and so on, politically and so on or not, the fact of the matter is there is a politics behind it. There is a cultural polar around it, which the BJP has won. There is nothing. It's completely legal what is happening, and I don't see why that's a problem. And therefore, look at the amount of money that's been collected for the construction of the temple by crowdsourcing. It's a huge amount of money. There will be a lot of political capital to be gained from it, and it's also a cultural moment. There is no question it will add ballast to the BJP sales leading into the Lok Sabha election.
Absolutely. Tehseen, let's look at the state assembly elections and a comment that at that time had come from a DMK leader, the son of the chief minister of the state of Tamil Nadu, about Sanatan Dharma. I don't want to reiterate that comment that he made because I believe it was in bad taste. But a lot of political experts argue, but that kind of narrative did have an impact on the kind of winds that we saw blowing in the Hindi heartland. Now, in the age of social media, you can't make a stray comment about Sanatan Dharma and then get away with it. Those days, I believe, are gone. The political grammar of this country has been rewritten in many ways. That's the bottom line. So if you want to argue that, look, opposition parties can attend or not attend and it won't impact, there is a precedent to show you that each time you have shied away from countenancing an issue of this nature, it has backfired.
So slight disagreement. Again, I have a lot of respect for you. No political grammar has been rewritten. The Congress party, because I'm a supporter and a voter of it, was the original Hindu nationalist party. What was Mahatma Gandhi's last words? Please, nothing has been rewritten. But yeah, I agree with you on what Udaynidhi Stalin said. You didn't take the name, I'm taking the name. What he said, forget politically. Politically, it was a wrong thing to say. Morally also, it was a pathetic thing to say. You cannot use that language for anybody, be it Hindus, Muslims, Christians, men, women. That is degrading and it is wrong. And what is wrong must be called out. It is wrong. And of course, it affected the Congress party in the India states. I'm not taking that away. But let's come to the larger issue that we are today discussing. Why do I, as an Indian, have a problem with the BJP or the fake narrative that they create? You saw the tweet done from the official BJP handle of the Ram temple being inaugurated, where our honorable Prime Minister Modi is bigger than Ram Lalla. Prime Minister Modi is holding Ram Lalla and taking him. They show Ramji so small and Prime Minister Modi so big. This offense. I may not be born a Hindu, but I'm culturally an Indian. I'm culturally a Hindu. How dare you show my Ram small and the honorable Prime Minister big? I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. God gave him a long and healthy life. But how dare you do that? That you don't find insulting.
All right,
one last time. What did Mahesh Sharma ji say on the floor of the Parliament when honorable Prime Minister was sitting? Mahesh Sharma said there is no evidence of Masita being born. This is answering a question. Prime Minister
right.
You guys, as in the BJP, have nothing to do with anybody.
I have to move on to another debate as well. Sharad ji, 30 seconds to you. Closing comments from you, please.
Well, Nehru himself was a very big, phenomenal Hindu in his own category. He was the one who told Mr. K. Munshi not to go in for the construction of the Dwarka temple.
Okay.
He said,
That's not true.
He in writing had told the then President Dr. Rajendra Prasad, do not go for the inauguration of the temple. It is going to lead to promotion of Hinduism.
No, just allow me one line on that.
Let him finish. Let him finish. That's all the time that I have.
Yeah, sorry. But that's not
all
true.
All right. That's all the time that I have. No, Tehseen, in fact, that fact is very
just
well
one line.
documented
Just one line.
by the legal historians
Somnath
as well.
temple, the construction of the Somnath temple was cleared by a cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and my friend's grandfather, Gargilji, built it. Please don't come on national TV and make up WhatsApp.
But the presence of the president was frowned upon, and
as a constitution.
And in fact, Dr. Rajendra Prasad had to go in his individual capacity and not as the president of the country. So there was a difference of opinion. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast. We'll continue having more of these debates. Thank you for joining us on Brass Tacks.